Hello, my name is Jorge Figueroa Morales. I'm from the team 2 from the group 116, and today we are going to talk about how COVID-19 affect the tourism and how can we apply it to the scientific method. The Mexican tourism was one of the industries hardest hit by the pandemic. The 2020 balance of the National Tourism Business Council (CNET) reveals that the country stopped receiving more than 20 million tourists, which is a 46% drop in visits in 2019. This fall has been translated as a drain from income. That outlook for the 2021 is not very hopeful, as the industry estimates the recovery to pre-pandemic levels will take between 2 to 4 years. Before the pandemic, Mexican tourism had a good run that in addition exceeded the expectations of the government. In 2019, the country received more than 45 million tourists, which represented an increase of 8%. The revenue these visitors left exceeded the 24.8 billion of dollars. The domestic tourism also suffered a significant reduction. The CNET, prepared with the help of the ANAC Tourism Research and Competitiveness Center, showed that the decrease in arrivals of national tourists to hotel rooms would have been more than 50%. Not only COVID affect hotels, but also museums, buses, amusement parks, and any other type of center for any tourist activity. The Mexican economy fell to 8.5% in 2020, which was when the COVID-19 arrived, and began one of the biggest drops since 1932. This is very bad, since Mexican tourism represents the 8.4% of the gross domestic product. The economy decline only in the Mexican tourism sector fell to 74.8% in June 2020. Now, my partner Sharon Nicole Flores Sony is going to talk about the observation, the statement of the problem, and the hypothesis of this scientific method.
Hi, my name is Sharon Nicole Floresoni, and I'm going to be talking about the observation, statement of the problem, and hypothesis of this scientific method. Observation: the economy in Mexico is decreasing drastically. The statement of the problem: why is the economy in Mexico decreasing drastically? Hypothesis: the pandemic caused a fall of more than 4% of the GDP, gross domestic product, in the national economy. Now my partner Jorge is going to continue with the different variables of this scientific method.
Well, first of all, I am going to talk about you the independent variable in this scientific method. The independent variable is the health or the COVID. The dependent variable is the variation or the fall of the gross domestic product due to tourism. And finally, the control variable, that is the income of money from tourism in the years before the pandemic. Now, my partner Emilio Arturo Elizalde Perez is going to talk about the control and experimental groups.
Hello, my name is Emilio Arturo Elizalde Perez, and I will explain our control and our experimental group. Talking about our control group, we have that we will center our attention on the year 2018, that's before the pandemic. During this year, tourism shared a percentage of 8.7 to the national GDP. Now, talking about our experimental group, we will center our attention on the year 2020. That's during the pandemic. During this year, the GPD shared by tourism was reduced by 47%. 47% of 8.74 is 4.11. So, GPD fell due to cause of the pandemic that affected the tourism sector 4.11% of the GPD. That's to say that tourism only contributed a number of 4.36% of the GPD, when before it contributed with 8.74%. Now, thank you, and my partner Sofia Betancourt will continue with the explanation.
Hi, my name is Ana Sofia Flores Betancourt, and today I'm going to present you the procedure. First, we have to create a survey on any platform of your choice. Then we have to ask your questions and put them on the survey. Then we have to use the available means to share the survey and get the results. And then we have to wait for enough people to answer the survey and collect the results. And finally, we have to put them in a clear and concise manner. Thank you.
Hello, my name is Galia Avalos Garcia. I am from room 816 and I'll be enlisting the materials we used in our experiment. To conduct our experiment, we used a Google Forms which contained questions related to tourism, and we also used social media platforms such as WhatsApp or Instagram to share it online. Next, my teammate Patricia de la Garza will analyze and explain our results.
Hi, I'm Patricio Lajara Sanchez from the group 116 and the team 2. Today I'm going to explain you the results of the experiment of our social experiment. Hi, I'm Patricio Lajara Sanchez and today I'm going to explain you the results of our experiment. For our experiment, we did a Google form and we share it to other people so they can answer it. The first question is, how many times per year people used to travel before the pandemic? Okay, so the results were that most of the people traveled 1 or 2 times per year before the pandemic. The other percent is 3 to 4, and the left is more than 5 times per year. And only 1% or less percent did 0 times. Now, in pandemic, people, the travel of people decrease a lot. The 0 times increases a lot, and 1 to 2 is staying like almost the same. But 3 to 4 times is still the same, and 5 times, more than 5 times, is not on the graph anymore. Do you think that the pandemic affected tourism? 100% of people say yes. Why? Well, most of the people answered because they think it's dangerous and because almost everything was closed because of the shutdown that there was here, the quarantine that Mexico had. Next question. Do you think tourism is important? Another time, 100% of people said yes. Why? Mostly here they said because it's a very important part of the Mexican tourism and it helps a lot. So that's our result from our experiment. Thank you. Thank you for your attention. Now, my classmate Arturo is going to explain you the conclusion.
Well, I will continue with the conclusions of this experiment. The conclusion that we can draw from this experiment is that in addition to the fact that Mexico's GDP has suffered a huge decline due to the current pandemic caused by the SARS-CoV-2, the tourism sector is one of the most affected ones. That is a serious problem, since prior to the pandemic, it was the sector that produced a high percentage of the national GDP. There are many ways in which this can be fixed, and many of them are already being implemented. But the one thing that is certain is that this has been an extremely hard blow to the Mexicans and to the world. A blow to the economy, a blow to the morale, and a blow to the beautiful Chirims who we boasted so much about in the past. I hope this experiment and this video was interesting for you. We are team number 2 from group 116. Thank you for your attention.